Alright, this will be Q&A video number 30 now, if you can believe it or not. I got about 10 questions I'm going to go through real quick here. Now the first one comes from SoTilted. He said he's looking for something a little more exciting than a lateral raise for when he's training the side delt. I'm not sure if you're aware of it or not, but what you're basically saying is you're tired of painting with a paintbrush. You're looking for another tool. Could you use another tool? Could you use a behind the neck press? Could you paint with a hammer? You could if you wanted to, but instead of looking for another tool because you're bored of using the right tool, what I would do is look for other ways to use the right tool for the job. In this case, maybe partials, maybe isometrics. It's a bunch of things you could do to make things more exciting instead of using the wrong tool for the job. Now the next question comes from Foolish Goat. He wants to know how a boxer should perform his reps if his goal is to remain loose. Now if his goal is to remain loose, an argument could be made, why the fuck is he weight training in the first place? But let's assume there's a good reason for why he's weight training. If we don't know what that reason is though, it's impossible to suggest how he should do his repetitions. Does he want to build muscle so he can move up a weight class without actually gaining fat to do so? Does he want to avoid building muscle but he wants to be stronger and more powerful and more explosive? Without knowing why he's doing what he does, it's impossible to say how he should probably do what he's going to do. Now the next two questions come from Pedro A. The first one being, are slow reps required to build muscle? And the second one being, is progressive overload necessary to build muscle? Now the short answer to both, no. You do not need to do your reps slow, and you do not need to chase external performance numbers. What you do need to do is impose a demand. That's why the body builds muscle, to protect itself from the demand imposed. And there's a bunch of different ways you could do that. Now Free Animal says when he does squats, he doesn't feel it where he wants to. When he does hack squats, he feels it where he wants to. He wants to know, can he replace the exercise he doesn't feel with one that he does? Now the answer, to me, should be obvious. If you haven't already done that, I have no idea what the fuck you're waiting for. Now MrCNZ had a question about what's better to build muscle if you're on steroids, progressive overload or metabolic stress. Now whether you're on steroids or not, it's not that one is better than the other. They both have a place. You want to build muscle, you got to recruit and fatigue. Progressive overload might be better for recruiting, metabolic stress for fatiguing. So it depends on what you're doing and when. You also have to take into consideration whether or not you've been doing something for a sustained period of time and are desensitized to it, and also what the individual prefers to do most. That's what they're going to work hardest at. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration. It's not that one is better than the other. Sega-Sun6 wants to know how I would classify someone as an intermediate lifter. Would it be based on how quickly they get results or how strong they are? I would say neither. Some people respond better to training than others. They're going to get results in spite of what they do. Others are strong who don't even work out. They're stronger than people that actually do go to the gym. That doesn't mean they're intermediate. To me, it would be time. Being dedicated and consistent for a sustained period of time. How much time? I'd say 200 workouts per body part if you want to build muscle. The average person trains each body part once per week. Now, where did I come up with that number? If you go to school to get a degree, you generally go for 4 years. After 4 years, you're not considered advanced, but rather intermediate. You have the skill set necessary to become advanced. So in this case, you got 52 weeks in a year. You train each body part once per week. Over the course of a year, you don't miss any workouts. That's 52 workouts per year. Over the course of 4 years, that's 208 workouts. So roughly 200 workouts, I would say, would make someone an intermediate. Doug Jones had a question about flexibility. He said, will it increase or decrease stability and thus force production? I'd say, I don't think increased flexibility would ever hinder performance in any way unless the individual did not have full control of their body at all of the ranges of motion that they're capable of going through. If they have full control of their body at all ranges of motion, I don't see how that could ever be a bad thing. Aaron Meyer wants book recommendations. I'll post a link in the description below to a video in which I talked about book recommendations. And then The Hostile Life wants to know if I'll ever film my workouts. Now, that's what my Instagram account is for, at Impose a Demand. I haven't posted much on there in terms of me working out because trying to film my workouts just kills my fucking training, but I'll try to get more for you on there. Now, real quick before I end the video, I want to say thank you to everybody who's found me and supported me. I started doing these Q&As about a year ago, and now I've done 30 of them. And the whole reason that I'm doing these things in the first place is to try to give back as much as possible, to try to leave this world a better place than I found it. So if you guys don't ask me questions, I can't really help as many people as I want to. So you guys keep the questions coming, and I'll keep bringing it for you.